Hello, and welcome to the Ultimate Fighting Chat podcast. Today we're going to be discussing UFC Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. This is a UFC fight night and took place on March the 14th. Looking at the early prelims, first two fights, I didn't see. Did you see them or not?
I've seen Semmelsberger versus Witt.
What do you mean? Why?
What I mean is I viewed Semmelsberger versus Witt.
Well, how? I haven't seen it.
It's on YouTube.
Um,
you could watch it now and come back to the podcast and no one will notice because...
round 1, 16 seconds.
Yeah, it barely lost. What was that fight where Cormier was talking about? Is that this card where Cormier was talking about, oh my God, wasn't that like about 3 seconds, even though it was about 20 or 30 seconds? Really peeing me off that was. It's like, what, is he spaced out or something?
Whoever he was with was just as tick as well. He's going, no, it weren't 3 seconds, it was about 6. It's like, what? No. It was nowhere near that. It was like, I don't know, a minute or something.
Oh no, it weren't that long either. So you're just crap the other way. No. But it was really quick. And there you go. It was Dan Ige versus Gavin Tucker. So it was this card. So we'll come on to that.
All right.
Okay, but yeah, I've seen Semmelsberger Witt.
Okay, well then I'll have to leave that to you because I haven't seen it. How was it?
Short and sweet. He's all right, that Semmelsberger. I mean, I don't know if you remember him, but he's...
Yeah, Jedi, isn't it?
That's it, yeah. Semi the Jedi. The other guy kind of threw a sort of a bit of a, threw a leg kick, calf kick, or whatever it was, a little bit telegraphed, and kind of Semmelsberger just let him kick his calf and drilled him straight through with a right hand, and the guy felt like a sack of spuds. Well, and he gave him a couple of licks on the floor just for good measure, just the basic sense. And yeah, he didn't do a what's his name? He didn't do a Sean O'Malley. He definitely went, no, I'm making sure this is dealt with. And
that is the good counter for kicks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, someone throws kicks, like, nice one, thanks. Have this in your face.
As long as you get the timing right, yeah.
Yeah, that was it. So
that's what you get.
That's all she wrote. But I didn't see Jin Frey. And
what on Gloria De Paula?
That's right. I didn't see that. I believe there might have been. I did see some sort of controversy online afterwards. People going, "Oh, I thought Jin Frey won that," but you know what I mean. I can't really comment because I didn't watch it. So
she did win it. It says yeah.
Well, maybe the other girl should have won.
The other one, yeah.
I don't know. A little bit of controversy, but who cares?
What I will say is, just to clear it up, it was a decision.
That's right.
Whereas Semmelsberger was 16-second knockout. This fight that you haven't seen and I haven't seen, I mean, it might have been good, but turns out it was a decision.
That's right. And so was the next fight, which was JJ Aldrich versus Courtney Casey. It was also a decision.
That's right. And I've got nothing to say about that fight. I mean, quite frankly, there's... if you want to chat about it, enjoy yourself. I don't know how to say about it. I watched it, but that's it. When I say I watched it, I didn't watch it all the way through. When I say that, that's a loose term of watching it. It was on, and obviously I fast forwarded it. But maybe I shouldn't have. Should I have?
Yeah, you should have. Yeah.
Did you watch it then?
I watched it. Yeah.
Exciting?
Well, can't you tell by my voice?
Yeah, but you just sound like that no matter what it is.
I mean, it's at times like that where, I don't know, I really would rather have been doing anything else. You know what I mean? It's like, at the end of that fight was like, 15, 20 minutes of my life. It's like, you watch it and then you look out at the sink that's got, say, dirty plates in it and dirty cups, and you go, I really hate washing up, but at least if I spent the last 15 to 20 minutes washing up, that'd be I'll be past that in my life now. I've just burnt 15 to 20 minutes of my life watching that.
You get nothing from it.
And now I've still got to do the washing up after. It's just like, I should have done the washing up. And then if I heard DC or someone go, whoa, I'd have just come back in and gone, what happened? But
you didn't hear that. Oh, you probably did hear that with them.
Oh yeah, I mean, they go, whoa, if someone lands a bloody foot stomp. So we've discussed it before. The knockout cams is one of my least favorite things
Yeah,
that
but
the UFC does.
okay,
I
I
don't
agree.
care. The reactions are always the same. I don't care, and they always laugh like little schoolgirls when they see it. Like, oh, look, DC, you got really excited there. So what? So what?
Well,
It's
it's not
so
their.
stupid.
Well, it's obviously not their fault because they don't agree it, right? But what I will say is that for you it might be boring because it is the same every time. And by the way, I completely agree. It's the same every time, the same reaction. This version will, whoa, it's no difference, right?
Mm.
So for me, it's also rubbish. But if you're watching it for the first time,
Nah,
yeah,
still, I think the first time they done it, I went, that was rubbish.
and they're crap qual and all.
Yeah, exactly. It's like something they're using a Nokia 3210 to film it. And the thing is, as well, is what annoys me is when there's something of genuine interest, like Dan Hardy trying to have a row with Herb Dean, don't use it then. I'd have liked to have seen the commentator cam then when Dan Hardy's getting up and giving Herb Dean a bit of a dressing down. Use it then. Show me
Yeah.
that. I'd love that. But no, instead I've got to put up with, I don't know, Bisping looking all cross-eyed and excited over someone getting knocked out. Just I just hate it. It's just crap. Just stop doing it. It's not funny. And they always just do right. Said it before. There's a few things that they need to stop doing. They need to stop that. They need to stop showing that John Hyo Kian or whatever that South Korean bloke's tweets because who is he? Right? They need to stop with
Barker,
it.
isn't it? Travis
Uh,
Barker, he keeps coming up.
yeah, Barker, yeah, Anthony Kiedis, the usual suspects, right?
They
They need to
only
stop
ever
with
use the
that.
same people. They only ever put the same
Yeah,
people
that's
on
what I mean.
on
So
telly.
I shouldn't even know who John Kyo Han is, or I've forgotten his name. So that shows that maybe they do need to show a few more of his tweets. But I even looked him up after I went, right, well, who is this bloke? Why is his tweets always on there? And there's some Aaron Brone Tester or something.
Yeah,
He's another
it's
one.
always the
He's
same
with it.
blokes.
Dan Stupp. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just like stop with the same blokes, man. Get lost. It's just boring, and they need to stop with Paul Felder's kick to the sack counter. That is one of
oh yeah,
the most immature, pathetic. I haven't got anything else to say. Boring things.
that's maybe a sign of what the fight's like. If he has to say boring stuff and he's got nothing else to say.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he should have been talking about the kicks to the groin in this fight all the way through. Because this was boring.
Okay, well in that,
Tepid,
yeah, but
boring crap.
okay, but you've wasted time watching it, like you said. Let's not waste no more on it. Let's not do it.
No, because we spoke about Santos Rakic for about 25 minutes.
That was different.
That was one of the dullest fights in history.
Yeah, but that's what we had to discuss of how boring it was. So it needed discussing. This, it don't. We've got rid of it.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of it and let's move on to the next fight. Right?
Not every fight can be a barnstormer, right? And this one just wasn't.
That's crap.
No, well, nothing. Just don't work out sometimes. And this was one of those matchups where it's just like I say,
Does it ever work out?
Should have done the washing up.
Does it ever work out with JJ Aldrich? That's the question.
No, see, I think I prefer that Courtney Casey. If someone said to me, who do you prefer as a fighter out of those two?
Courtney Casey's actually all right. Yeah.
I'd say I prefer Courtney Casey.
Yeah, so would I.
But she still lost. So
she did get done.
Yeah.
There's a split decision though, if you're interested. So someone thought.
Nope. I was out doing the washing up when they were doing that bit. Right.
Right. Okay. The next fight then is Kelvin Gastelum. No, sorry. I mean Nasrat Haqparast.
Yep.
Versus Rafa Gifted Garcia. Now, I don't know if you noticed. I believe it was this Garcia's, might have been his debut. But you know the pre-fight shadow boxing bits?
Yep.
With a photographer. Garcia did chats to the photographer. He looked over to one side and he says, okay, but you obviously have to read his lips or whatever. So they obviously told him, yeah, now do some punches, do some elbows. And he's like, he either said, okay, as in, was that okay? Or he's like, yeah, okay, I'll do that. Bad quote. And they left it there. They left it in for me to see. So that was crap. I don't like Haqparast feet. They're just too flat, like plasticine. They ain't good. Garcia, they gave it all the 12-0 chat, and he was crap. And that's me done.
Blimey, we've really got off on a positive note, haven't we? I actually thought Garcia was all right. Well, aggressive.
Rubbish.
He was aggressive. He sort of, he put himself in the line of fire. And I actually think that Hakrapast is all right.
He's all right, yeah.
Yeah, and so despite the plasticine feet,
Terrible feet.
So yeah, I think Garcia was okay. I think he'll be able to outgrit and out tough a lot of the roster.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
But I think early on I was thinking, oh, Hakrapast, that name's annoying. Let's just call him Gastelman. I thought he might get done here. He might come unstuck.
I do remember thinking that
Really
he's getting a
early
bit of
on.
grief off him, but that bloke just. Yeah, I don't know if it was short notice or what, but he was a bit of a mess, and I don't know. He looked a bit,
one-dimensional. I thought, like
the opposite of patient. Rushing it.
After Hakrapast sort of got down his timing and his range a bit, it became a bit of a procession to the finishing line. If you know what I mean, it just the fight didn't change, and that's why I quite liked the Garcia, because he didn't get deterred. He still carried on coming forward and trying to win the fight, but it just seemed like he had no ideas outside of maybe landing an overhand right. But I thought he was all right. But I think Hakrapast is quite good. He's not as good as the real Gastelum.
He ain't.
Yeah. Anyway, he's all right. He's all right, Hakrapast, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, he's quite good. Yeah, but there weren't much to say about that fight, really. It's just it was a decision win to Gastelman, and that's the end of it. So I'm going to move on to the next fight, because the next fight, I mean, we're off to a good start. 2 fights I didn't watch. The next one was a woman's fight, which was on telly, but I didn't watch. Then it was Garcia Gifted, who was 12-0, but he was crap. And
but
then
we just agreed he actually wasn't crap. But
no, he was. No, but not for the 12-0, all that chat. Right. I'm just, right. And the next fight, Rani Yahya versus Ray Rodriguez. The best thing about this fight, I don't think I've ever seen it. I mean, it wasn't a decision by Yahya. I mean, he actually won by submission. I mean, he's just so. Why is he still in it? Now, you might go, because he wins. It doesn't matter. So did the best Barnett in MMA. He kept winning. What's his name again? Theodoru. He was winning and he got cut. Why is Yahya still in it? What the hell is going on? He's rubbish, mate. I mean, sorry. Bad qual.
Well, I mean, he's got a damn good record. I know you're going to say, so what, you don't care.
Yeah, so what?
Take his last, sort of around 10 fights. He's his last 11 fights, he's won 8 of them. He's only lost 2 of his last 11. So he's...
No matter. Rubbish.
I agree, because the way I would view it is he's not someone who puts bums on seats. He's not someone who delivers exciting fights on the whole. And I don't feel
he's not even MMA. He's not an MMA fighter. He's in the largest MMA organization, and he doesn't know MMA. I like the throwback element of, I'm just amazing at one thing, and you can say he ain't amazing at it.
Well, you can say what you want, but you can say he's got no breath, that's for sure. But his last 4 victories have all been submissions. The only ones that have gone the distance are his defeat and his draw. But he's got a submission by Kimura, arm triangle choke, a heel hook, which is rare these days to get a leg lock submission, and an arm triangle choke. So you can't argue with that.
I don't want to argue about it at all. He just shouldn't be in it.
It's just when he's in a fight where he doesn't get the submission and it starts going into round 3, it's a real horrible, sloppy affair, and it leaves a real lasting impression. You just look at him and go, why is this guy so out of breath?
He keeps just running, not running, but plodding forward, trying to grab hold of blokes. And then when he don't grab hold of him, he just falls back on his crack and waits for a bit and then goes, no, that didn't work. So I'll get up again, takes ages to stand up, and then goes in for him again, doesn't throw any punches, nothing, just goes in for him again, just goes to grab again. If that don't work, he rolls back on his crack and then gets up again. It just, even when he gets them down and he's on top of them, nothing happens. Now, in this, something did happen. Round 2, and he's submission, but how wet and sweating was he, and no energy, or so fatigued. I mean, just forget it. Terrible. Terrible.
It reminds me of you know, when he hits round 3. You know, when you see cartoons and stuff like that, and say someone's leaving, and the person don't want them to leave, and they grab hold of their ankle, and they're walking along like to the car with a suitcase, and it gives like the person's like grabbing hold of the ankle, that dragging them along the floor by the ankle. That's what he's like in round 3. He's like one of those people that's just grabbing hold of an ankle, and someone's just basically trying to shake him off their foot for most of the round.
Because in round 3, he basically can't fight. That's why that's why when he gets to round 3, it's basically a decision, because by that time he's just not capable of fighting or doing anything. He's just got no.
And what he usually does is he's usually built up a bit of a ground control time or grappling dominance in the first 2 rounds that's got him 2 rounds up, and the other person just isn't able to sort of finish him off or stop him or whatever, or do enough damage to get a 10-8 and eke out a draw. And so that's why he gets those sort of decision victories. But he's not someone I enjoy watching, if I'm being honest. I never have. I can't think, you know, even most fighters, even when you go sort of the fighters that people never really like that much, you know, let's just say Chael Sonnen was a bit of a grinder, but even him, he had loads of wicked fights. You know, John Fitch, the same. He had some good fights, even though he was cut for the same thing, right?
Exactly, yeah.
He was a real contender, right? A perennial contender.
Yeah, and he was quite good. I didn't want him to get done. He was good.
Yeah, at the time, ended up being good on that one. You know, he did sort of start to hit a skid, didn't he? Just after, after he left, But yeah, look.
One of the fights I really remember.
One of those guys that if I had a guy coming up fighting, I think there's a lot to lose fighting Yahya and not much to gain. Because if you beat him, I don't think it's like, you know, a big victory that will get you, you know, a top 10 opponent. And if you lose, which is very possible, it's a bad loss. So
it is. It's just like a little slug gripping onto you. I mean, like you say, we'll talk about the loser then, Ray Rodriguez.
Hang on, wait. So is that what you'd call him, nickname-wise? Rani the Slug Yahya? He should take Ying Lee's name.
The Leech. Yeah.
I can't do his name. I don't know why.
Ling Yang, good one. A combo with the 2 names. He's not good enough to be a slug. Yahya. It's too good.
Oh yeah, but
it's too good a creature.
Lee is the leech, isn't he? And that's what Yahya's like. It's like sticks to you like a leech. But if not a leech and not a slug, I mean, where'd you go from there? A whelk?
Cut him.
Oh,
get rid of him. Yeah, rubbish.
The mollusk.
Yeah, mollusk is a good one. Well, what about the Ray Rodriguez? You've got anything to say about that fella on the losing end of a Yahya?
No, just other than what I said, it's a defeat that I think can happen to anyone. It's just not a good opponent. I don't think he's in the who needs him club. That's what I say. You know, certain opponents you need to take on because they either further your career or they're a big name or something. Yahya's not a big name. He's not a bit, you know, a high level rank. He's not a sort of a crowd favorite or something like that, where, you know, it's a certain name on your record or a legend on your record, whatever you want to call it. You know, like Diego Sanchez. You might fight a Diego Sanchez now because it's a cool name to have on your record, even if it is the old curry belly version. But, you know, Yahya, I just look and go, what do I get out of this fight? I could easily get done by this guy and I get nothing from it.
Exactly. So, it doesn't make me think that Rodriguez is crap because he got done by Yahya, even though it don't. It's a weird one. You're right. It's kind of sort of more evidence that I'm right, that he ain't needed. Don't matter that he wins either. It doesn't matter that he wins. Doesn't matter if he loses. Actually, if he was losing, they'd get rid of him. It's just because he's not losing. I don't know. You say he's done loads of victories. Who's he done? Has he done anyone? I don't want to say good because that was nasty to people like Rodriguez. You know, he goes in there to have a smash.
A second ago, what did you call Garcia? He ain't even crap. Right.
It was crap. It was their fault that they gave it all the chat. 12-0 and blah, blah. I know they had to make it exciting, but I was waiting.
They bigged him up too much.
They did, yeah. It's their fault. So you're right. I'm being too harsh on him, but it's their fault.
Well, he got a draw against Barzola, who's all right, I think. Barzola's not too bad. He's lost to Ricky Simon.
Yeah, well, he's good.
Who, is really good. He beat Luke Sanders, who's got, he's all right.
Next.
He's got a real bod on him, hasn't he?
Come on, has he done anyone that I'm,
Russell Duan. I actually think Russell Duan was all right.
I did think that Duan was quite good.
I used to like Duan, yeah. Henry Briones, Joe Soto. Joe Soto was all right as well.
Yeah.
So he lost to Joe Soto. So yeah, I mean,
like you said, it don't matter though. It doesn't. None of these blokes I'm going, yeah, but he's crap or whatever. It don't matter if he get done, and it don't matter if he wins. It's just pointless. The only person it's not pointless for is him, because he's made it his job and he gets paid, and respect for that. But other than that, you're going to get rid of the best Barnett in MMA. For winning fights and not being excited. Valley Flag. You're going to get rid of Valley Flag. And you're going to keep Yaya. Nah. And who is he the same as? There's another bloke who's no difference. Yaya's exactly the same. He's got like a twin in it. Fights the same, looks the same. Oh, I can't remember. When he crops up again, I'll bring it up. Another jiu-jitsu leech. Rubbish. Yeah. Anyway, Get rid of him. Okay, look. When I say get rid of him, obviously I'm not calling for him to lose his job, but my question is...
Well, it sounded like it.
No. Who did you do that with? Oh, yeah, you wanted to get rid of the Italian bloke.
No, I didn't. No. I really liked the Kiriko. No. I really liked the Kiriko a lot. I said, there was someone who I was like, he ain't the standard.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was. So
come on. He's not UFC standard. Yeah, I don't want him to lose his job.
I remember
UFC
it was.
Standard.
I remember it was.
Go on.
Diego Lima. Douglas Lima. Diego Lima.
Yeah, it's Diego, yeah.
They are the same bloke.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. It's a pretty... I mean, it's actually not a pretty. It's a very nasty thing to say. And...
maybe I'll send your review of Rafa Garcia's performance. Maybe I'll send that to him personally. See what he's got to say about that.
Well, if he's any sort of man, I'm sure he'll admit that he could have done better, and maybe he'll give me some reasons like short notice, and it ain't my fault. I got bigged up beforehand. But I'll say, look, I'm just watching it as a viewer. You were chatting to the photographer, and that's not your fault that they left that in. And then you got done, and you're supposed to be all this 12-0 malarkey. I'm sorry. He got smashed. He didn't even get smashed. He just...
No, it was a good competitive fight. He was all right. I don't know what your problem is.
No, he weren't. He was all... He was all panicky and rushing. Didn't look like a experienced fighter. He didn't look like a 12-0. And it's not because he lost. That's not why he didn't look like a 12-0. He didn't look like a 12-0 because he's a bit like Masvidal. When Masvidal went against Usman and he said, look, I've only got a little bit in me here, so I've just got to try and mash him out. It's like that. It's like that. And it might maybe be because it was a short notice. So, yeah, I'm happy to see him again. But Yaya, I ain't. He got that whole fight, even though it was only 2 rounds, I can't watch him. He gets fast-forwarded every time. Every time. Can't handle it. You fast-forward him and he's still slow.
I think he's one for the grappling purists, isn't he, and all that kind of stuff.
No, he's no. That implies he's got fans or whatever. No.
Yeah, I bet there's people out there who probably going, "Oh, look at that, beautiful."
There ain't.
All right.
I bet there ain't. Have a look at his Twitter followers or something like that. See if he's got any.
I'm sure he's got some.
Has he?
I'm sure he's got more than us.
Check.
All right. I'll check in a bit.
The next fight, finally, brilliant. Charles Air Jourdain versus Marcelo Rojo. Rojo? Rojo? Rojo. Pitbull, his nickname is. Look, we already said before that this Charles Jourdain is good. You'll remember him from before, I'm sure. This was a good fight, a decent fight, and both of them are good, I say. It's a very even fight. Jourdain's just a bit faster, and more importantly, had just better cardio. So he was able to win that fight. But he was competitive and decent. I like this fight. It's good. I really like this Jourdain bloke. But I liked the Rojo as well.
Good.
We're going on to the next fight, then, is it? I mean, for God's sake. Supposed to be having a chat about it.
Nah, I'm happy with that summing up. I mean, to me, it was he was Rojo got the first round, looked more threatening, looked like perhaps he might, catch him with a big shot and, this, that, and the other. But Jourdain, much like in his last fight, I believe his last fight, had a real, came on strong in rounds 2 and 3. And pulled the win out, got the late stoppage. The other guy's face looked like an absolute mess, didn't it? Looked like he'd been bashing his head against a brick wall for about 5 minutes. And I liked both these guys, both good. Both good, both put on a good fight, a good scrap.
Agreed.
I even liked, I think, that Rojo when, he showed some good sort of, maybe not the most intelligent responses to when he was in danger. He kind of waved the guy in and sort of said, yeah, come on in, let's have it, rather than perhaps maybe covering up, retreating,
getting himself under control a bit.
Yeah, grabbing him and trying to clinch, or maybe getting on his bike. He was sort of, which, is sometimes is a good thing, sometimes isn't a good thing. And in this occasion, it turned out to not be a good thing because he ended up on his back. And it was a little bit like Rory McDonald, Robbie Lawler, where the finish was more a culmination of shots, rather than him getting banged out properly. He sort of just got hit with another shot and went down, and it was more the culmination of the beating, rather than the impact of that individual shot. But yeah, he was good. I liked that Rojo quite a lot. I actually thought after about the first 3-4 minutes of the fight, I thought Rojo's going to win this. But Jourdain, like I say, came on strong like he did last fight. Got the win. Good for him. Both good. We'll see him in the future.
Yeah, he's good, isn't he? This Jourdain bloke. I mean, I liked Rojo as well. I liked Rojo as well. But this Jourdain, he's very good, I'll say.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long you can keep getting away with having these slow starts, though.
You mean like someone might be Powers and just, bang him out if he don't?
Well, possibly that, but also, he only just got through by the skin of his teeth in the previous fight. I think it ended in a draw. And, as he goes up in competition, he might find it, he keeps sort of starting slow and losing those first rounds. He'll find it harder and harder to overturn that 1 round deficit that he sort of, I'm not saying he gives it up because he definitely don't. It just seems, some fighters, it's like Bisping, he always used to get cracked and wobbled every fight. It's almost like he needed that to wake up. Same with Donald Cerrone and people like that.
Pickett.
Pickett, yeah. And but like both these guys. So there's nothing more to say about it, really.
Nothing more to say about the next fight either. Angela Hill versus Ashley Yoder. 0 interest. I fast forwarded the whole thing. I didn't watch any of it. Winner Hill by unanimous decision, but who cares?
I did. What, you didn't watch any of it?
Nothing. Not 1 second. Whatever seconds I saw through fast forwarded eyes, nothing. As a matter of fact, once it came up, the next fight, and it shows the shadow box and it does a little intro for them, that got fast forwarded because adverts are coming after that. And it stayed fast forwarded through any announcements. I didn't watch any of it. Nothing. Because I had 0 interest.
All right. Well, is what it is. But what I'm going to say.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm happy to listen to whatever you've got to say about it.
No, I haven't got much to say about it either. It was not an interest. It was another one where at the end I looked at the washing up and said, that should be done now. But what I will say is that Yoda.
Oh, you're going to do a Yaya on her. Shouldn't be in it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if I said Lima wasn't, UFC caliber or UFC standard, then Yoda really ain't. I mean,
he's not in the UFC. He'd be too small. There's no weight class for Yoda, is there?
That is the thing. That Yoda would be worth watching. This Yoda, I mean, if we had to pin the hopes of the galactic universe on her shoulders, forget it.
Well, look, I didn't watch it, right? I'd like you to elaborate a bit more on what you think her deficits are, why you think she's
Everything.
crap.
Everything.
Right. Are you
I
okay?
don't need to. The footwork wasn't there. No
Right.
explosiveness. No athleticism. No plan B. No combinations. No striking fluidity, finesse, pace on the shots. Power. Need I go on? There was just nothing of any threat. It was one of those fights where I watched it and I went, well, who does get beaten by Ashley Yoder? That's why I watched it as. I just went, who would lose to her? Now I know people have, but I'm just saying that I just watched that and went, this is just there's no danger, there's no threat, there's nothing here that I'm looking at going, oh, she looks tasty on the ground, or she looks like she's got a big right hand, or she's got good hand speed, or nothing, just nothing. There was honestly, Angela Hill should have made more mincemeat out of her. Is the truth.
She's not good either. She's just better.
I think she's definitely a lot better. A lot better.
If Yoda is crap, no footwork, no athleticism, etc., etc., what are we saying then? What does she do all day? Are you saying you don't think... Does she look bad enough that you could say she doesn't train MMA, doesn't train fighting? You think she don't go to the gym? What do you think the problem is here?
No, I don't know. It's not for me to say, really.
But if you're going to the gym and you're training, but she might be a Mike Pyle, got it all in the gym and then gets done in the cage.
I'm
that's a real thing.
Yeah, of course it is. I agree with that. There's quite often, there would be people down the gym as well who $1 million bucks in the gym, and then come fight night, they were, can compose themselves, can turn it on fight night, whether it be down to nerves, anxiety, all those different things.
So many different things in there, because you don't really know the opponent until you're actually opposite them and having to deal with what's happening. You can do whatever you want to prepare, but you're not really preparing for them, because even if they're your teammate and you spar with them all day long, you're still just sparring. You're still not fighting them. It's going to be even that'd be the best you could get. But even then, on fight night, it would be a different story when they're actually trying to smash your face in for real. Unless you're TJ Dillashaw's training partner, because he apparently did try and smash your face in for real in the gym.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's plenty of things to take into consideration of why she's rubbish. But you said she ain't the caliber, so she needs to go. She probably has gone. Has she been cut? Probably not for getting done by Hill, because everyone thinks Hill's brilliant and she's quite highly touted. So getting done by her would be a no shame, in losing to her type thing. So she probably hasn't got done.
Let me
can't keep cutting women because there'll
be one left. Yeah. Well, that like we said before, there's such a sort of lack of depth in talent in some of those divisions and this, that, and the other, that you do get people kept around for longer than you would do if you were a lightweight competing in the men's lightweight division.
Of course, yeah, makes sense.
And that's understandable. And that obviously also means you can have bigger sort of skills discrepancies between, I don't know, the man ranked, say, 12th might not be that might only be fractionally better than the man ranked, say, number 5 even. But in the women's division, if you rank, say, 5 against someone who's 12, there can be a real noticeable skills discrepancy. So look, it's why sometimes you see fighters with, co-main events, or, getting on main cards, or maybe even sort of like being talked about for title shots, who are like 6-1, or, like sometimes like 5-4. And it's like, if they win this one, they're in the title shot picture. It's like, what, they're 5-4? What are you talking about? So is what it is. But I'm just going to tell you now, round 3, Ashley Yoder landed 1 head strike, significant strikes. It's 1 head strike.
Right.
Three
this.
3 to the body and 2 to the head. Leg, sorry. So 1 to the head, 3 to the body, 2 to the leg. A total of 6 strikes in a 5-minute round.
Is that because she was on her back?
You know what? I can't really remember. But even if it is, don't matter. Don't matter. Throw some elbows, throw some
Throw
punches.
some more from your back, yeah.
Yeah, throw something. But, this is a fight that you're definitely, without question, 2 rounds down in. And you land 6 strikes, less than, just over 1 a minute, basically. It's just...
I don't know.
It just wasn't very good. It just was not very good. I mean, I'm not being funny. Round 1, she landed 6 head strikes, 4 body, 2 leg. It's a total of 12.
Yeah,
it's like two every minute. So here we're looking at, on average, over 10 minutes, 1.5 strikes landed per minute.
Well, look, this is why I fast forwarded it.
Unless you're Tyron Woodley, and even Woodley gets smashed for his output, right?
Yeah.
But unless you're Tyron Woodley and those strikes that you throw, you put everything into them. So if they land, they're going to send the person to orbit, right? And you just didn't land the big punch. You kind of go, okay, that's your fighting style. It's more less volume, more power. You can make some justification for it. But I'm telling you now, these punches and strikes, they kind of...
Are they total strikes regardless, or are they significance?
They are significance.
Oh, blimey. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the ones that count, and you're saying they didn't even count?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I didn't see her throw a significant strike. I mean, a significant strike, it's difficult to know what the yardstick is for a significant strike. But,
I know. It is.
But honestly, I mean, I genuinely think if any of her strikes landed clean, let's just say Angela Hill didn't have her guard up, and any of Yoda's strikes in that fight landed clean, I don't think she'd have wobbled or anything.
Look, I know you're going to say, I don't know, how much do you think she gets paid for this?
Not much.
What do you reckon? 10 G's?
Yeah, about 10 G's.
So 10 G's to show up, 10 G's to win. So maybe 20.
8 to 10 G's, I think. I've seen those kind of numbers thrown around before for sort of, sort of lower tier fighters or what have you. So not much. Look, as we always say, right, I rate anybody who's in there. She's achieved more than I could ever hope to achieve, right? She's on national telly, fighting in the biggest organization in the world. She's, gone in there, had a fight against a ranked fighter, all these things.
I agree.
I really do rate all that. I really do, even though everything I've said before would make someone go, no, you don't. I do. But I can also only go on what I'm seeing on my telly screen.
Yeah,
and what's on the telly screen was just not very good. But everything else, preparation, mental strength to get in there, do these things, get up every day and train and be in a position to take that fight and get through 3 rounds of a fight and all that, all that, brilliant, amazing, love it. But we're talking about the premier MMA organization in the world. So you have to judge it based on that. And it was not very good. That's it. I've already spoke about this way too much.
Maybe Angela Hill made her not look very good.
Maybe. It was a rematch, wasn't it?
Oh, my God.
It was a rematch that the fans really demanded.
What happened in the first one?
Angela Hill won by unanimous decision. And 4 years later, she wins by unanimous decision. Nice one. Who would have put that one together?
I wonder why there was a rematch then, because if you've won by unanimous
decision... You said it, not enough depth.
Well, hopefully Angela Hill can put her in there. What is it? The headlights or whatever they say, the rear view mirror.
Yeah, put her in the rear view mirror.
Put her in the rear view mirror from there. Doesn't have to worry about Yoda for a bit.
Yeah.
For maybe until 4 years.
Yeah, well, honestly, she did look levels above her, and to me, that fight was pretty much a waste of time, if I'm being honest.
Well,
but hey ho, it's what it's. Look, keeps Angela Hill busy.
Like I said to you, I told you at the very beginning of it, zero interest. Fast forwarded the whole thing, and that's it. I'm more interested in what you've got to say about it than actually watching it.
Yeah, I've even bored myself talking about it. Honestly, I feel like now, I can't even be bothered to discuss the rest of the card.
For right now, you don't have to, because it's probably the shortest podcast we've ever done. But
let's just go through the whole main thing. Just do the whole thing. No,
you've got to know, because it's nice that we have some content that isn't, longer than a feature film.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. So we will go straight on to do the main card, but we'll do it separately because, like I say, we've got to have some content that maybe people can listen to.
No one is going to want to listen to us bitching and moaning about Rani Yaya and Ashley Yoda. But anyway.
They might, you never know. But if they do, we'll make it as short as possible. So that's the end of that one. And we'll do the main card in a bit. We'll do it straight away. I'll speak to you in a bit.
Bye-bye.
All right. That's the end of the prelims for, I can't remember who it is. Oh, Leon Edwards and Bilal Mohammed. Main card coming up.
Yeah, you almost forgot his name, ironically enough.
See you later.